Hey, welcome back to a surprise RSG stream. I'm Ranger J 1999, and joining me is my heterosexual life partner, as always, the porg lover, troll extraordinaire, Dr. Finn, medicine woman, is here with me. Hey, Dr. Finn.
Hi.
It's been kind of a busy day, Dr. Finn. I'm a little tired, I'm not going to lie. We've been up since wee morning, the hours of the morning. You know, it's funny, I owe Dr. Finn an apology. I woke up at 8 o'clock, hit snooze on the alarm, and fell back asleep, and then woke up at 8:57 going, ah! Eventually, are we streaming? And so I'm like, yes! Oh my god! Just an update on my Revan. He's full Gear 12 now. I got the last pieces I need for Gear 12, those stupid MK6 arcade, whatever they are. So he's done now. So lots of streams today. So when they put the road ahead out, we got to stream about it. I mean, we got to do it. Also joining us is Grim. Grim is working on getting his camera up, if I'm not mistaken.
That I am.
Don't worry about it. If you can get it, great. If not, just your voice is fine. So the road ahead came out, Finn. A ton of stuff in here. Should we just start going through it?
Yeah, let's just start going through this.
Okay, let me drink some water. Let me get me ready. Tiger face.
Put on your best
lemon
face.
All right, everybody.
Nah, that's Cozy Spoon.
Oh, that's Cozy Spoon. Okay. So from the lovely CG Carey, who we love here. After an exciting end of the year with the release of Gran Torino, I can't even talk all of a sudden. Good Lord. Gran Torino, that's the spice, from Italiano.
Ranger is so excited he can hardly speak.
I've been running around with my head cut off, man. With Revan and everything, I am loopy right now. With the release of Gran Arena, C-3PO, and Han's Millennium Falcon, the Capital Games offices are bustling again with plans for the upcoming quarters. We spent much of the past few months focusing on the roadmap, including a bold and somewhat audacious 5-year vision. But as always, I'm here to talk a little bit about the next couple of months. When we sit down to plan the next year's roadmap, one of the key things we focus on is learnings from the previous one. Since so much of the core of the game is collecting and strategizing with the iconic characters and ships from the Star Wars universe, we are constantly learning and, when necessary, adjusting the way we release them, especially the types of events we run and their cadence, to ensure that we bring you awesome new Star Wars content in a way that feels balanced, fair, and allows you to really dig in and enjoy each moment. We're continuing to work on the balance between marquee, reworks, achievement characters, more on that in a moment, and legendary heroes, journeys, ancient journeys. Ancient journeys? Have we had an ancient journey yet? Wait a minute. That's news right there. Ancient journeys?
That's Revan.
Yay! My day has come.
Well, there's no guarantee that the next one is going to be another Revan, but
I know it could be another ancient something. So
it could be Malik, right? We already thought Malik. But
yeah, maybe they go Darth Bane.
They could. There's a lot.
Surprise, XRQ.
Surprise, mother.
It could be Malgus too.
Yeah, they could go Malgus. They could go Bane.
There's a lot of options.
Tula Cord. I mean, there's all ways they could go with this. That really just stuck out to me when I read that Ancient Journeys. We know legendaries, no heroes, but Ancient Journeys really made me go.
Yeah, it's the only one of its kind right now with a new thing.
That could be an
Okay.
ancient journey.
Yeah, so continuing on, while we are finessing the delivery systems, we also want to try a couple of different formats. To that end, we will be releasing the Emperor's Command Shuttle in a new event called the Galactic Chase. This event will take place on one of the Cantina holotables, as the Command Shuttle will be immediately released to specific nodes there. This will allow you to earn charge of the ship while accruing other resources and completing daily activities that you would already be doing anyway on these nodes. We hope that you enjoy the way this celebrates the arrival of a new ship without requiring a separate energy grind. Emperor's Command Shuttle.
Oh, by the way, you can turn off the video of the week too if you want to hit the eyeball on that. It's just an additional random video at the bottom.
But it's kind of cool. I mean, I can turn it off.
Yeah, doesn't have anything to do with this. So, interesting with the Galactic Chase, right? So, We'll have to see exactly how it works out, but it sounds like what it's going to essentially do is there might be
Oh, they're saying
nodes
Riven
that
is an
drop
ancient
this
journey. Okay, I'm an idiot.
So there may be like an additional event, right? Or not event. Actually, it does say event. So I don't know what event usually has a time limit, but whatever this is, basically, if you farm particular nodes, you'll get it. It'll be kind of a bonus drop.
Mhm.
We've seen things kind of like this before.
Maybe
the bounty
like
hunters.
bounty.
Yeah, like when they added the bounty hunters on each of the different levels, like each level of your hard node and stuff, had a particular amount and stuff. So this wouldn't be the first time they've introduced a concept like this, but it would be the first time I think they're introducing a unique character like this. And if it's an event, it's kind of interesting the way that they worded this. And I know Than Cairo is going to love the fact that I'm looking at the wording. The fact that it's an event means that there might be a time limit. So will we have only a certain amount of time in order to get this character to 7-star? How often will this event come out? How long will the event be there, right? So a lot of questions kind of coming up as a result of it. But I think it's a really neat concept, the way that at least they've introduced it now. We obviously need more details, but I do kind of like the way that this is working out so far.
Probably legendary dark side counterpart to the Millennium Falcon. Possibly, maybe. No.
We'll have to wait and see, but just the announcement that that's what's coming is pretty cool. Okay, alongside this and the more traditional events, we will be introducing more achievement-based characters this year. Okay. This may show up as an actual achievement rewards or in currency shops such as Wampa and Hermit Yoda. We will be able to talk more about that more in depth in coming months. Alright, so I need to save my guild store currency. Damn it. Alright, first category is quality of life. As always, we begin the year with a quality of life update. Many of the items that have populated our quality of life comes from things we've seen you talk about on the forums, feedback we've received from customer satisfaction surveys, and the actual gameplay patterns and feedback we see reflected in how you play the game. We also look for time-saving opportunities as we recognize that subsequent updates often require an increased amount of time spent in the game. To that end, one of our big quality of life features this year is going to be raid simming. Sweet baby Jesus. If a guild has beaten the heroic Rancor raid a certain number of times, and to be determined, number of guild members have Han Solo at 7 stars, the guild will be able to sim completion of the Rancor raid, and all guild members will receive equal rewards. While we are still tuning the exact rewards, the intention is to keep the inflow of rewards but allow guilds to enjoy the rewards and spend their time on new content without having to repeat the version of an event they've mastered. At this time, we're only activating raid simming on the Rancor, but we'll be able to explore adding it to the other raids at a later date. We should note that if, for any reason, you don't want to sim the Rancor, you always have the option to play through the way it is currently with the current raid distribution. I love it.
So, obviously, the main thing, how are they tuning the rewards?
Yeah, that's their big thing that they're looking at.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest issue with this whole thing. They have to make sure, if they want to really make this so it's raid, like people are going to raid sim in order to prevent time issues, right? And the one thing about Rancor is probably the least time consuming, but
we all tie.
Actually doing it.
We all tie, and it's random what place you get, and then it's random on the reward. So simming it is not going to bother me whatsoever. I mean, I don't mind.
I don't mind either, as long as the rewards aren't bad, right? Because at least I'm sure every guild is different, and I know Grande's here, so we can kind of talk about it because he has exposure to a lot of Dark Lord guilds too, so we can kind of get more depth with this. But I know in my guild, typically we have maybe about 15 people solo the Rancor, and the other ones are just posting their 0.
Yeah.
And so we get from 1 to 15 with the raid rewards and all of that, and then everybody else is random kind of down below. So what are they planning on doing the rewards for, right? Are we giving rewards, like assuming everyone's soloed and maybe giving everyone rank 10 rewards? Because then that would be a net for the guild, and I think guilds would be happier that way. Are they going with the average of all of it? Because then I think people will try to solo, because especially the ones that compete, if they know that they can attack and get more than the average, then a lot of them will not sim. Like they'll just continue to do it as is. So What do you have to say about that, Grande, since you just joined?
Yeah, that's right, say.
Man, I don't know how they're going to do the simming thing, guys. I mean, there's again, right? They didn't give us very many specifics, and there's a lot of pitfalls that they could fall into here, right? I mean, the easiest thing would be, oh, we're going to make this great. You guys can sim it. Everyone gets 25th place rewards, right?
Yeah.
That would and that would probably be bad, right?
I don't think they're going to do that.
No, well, I'm just saying it's a possibility.
It's a possibility, but I don't think that's what they're going to do.
If you sat in there and you averaged everything, this is what it would look like, right? They'd go, hey, you guys wanted it simmable, you wanted it easy, here you go, here it is, it's simmable.
In actuality, the average would be lower because at the top it splits up the payouts, right, between 1, 2, 3, and then they clump it up, and the biggest clump is at the bottom. So the average would probably actually be closer to 30, I would imagine.
Right.
Look at the actual reward.
I think if they could do this, though, see, let me throw this at you, Grande, that it rotates you in your places, right? You finish in the top, then the middle, then the bottom, and it kind of rotates you through their servers.
That's not what it says. It says
everyone is getting the same.
All guild members will receive equal rewards.
Well, then they need to be a little bit more to the higher end.
Okay. Okay. Well, here's the thing: would the community be okay with? I mean, I don't even remember. Would the community be okay with spots 10 through 25 or whatever it is?
Oh yeah, I've gotten better rewards than I got in first 1 through 10.
Hold on. You say that, but on the average, the dude in rank 1 never complains that he got rank 1.
I do. Because I can host on the rewards.
Have you heard Hideous?
No.
Let me introduce you to my friend, El Grande Darth Hideous.
Hold on, though. I mean, look at the difference between what rank 1 gets and what even rank 16 through 20 gets. It's almost in half. It's almost in half. And so I'm going to tell you right now, spots 16 through 20, and we were talking about spots 21 through 30 is almost exactly half. And we just got told in the paragraph above, that this Emperor's command shuttle is coming and that you need to save your currencies, right? And now we're finding a way where we potentially, right? So now again, we're gonna try hard. We made it where now the people that this is gonna be the very first time we're able to sim a guild event. Some people try really hard in guild events, and some people post zeros in guild events. And so I'm just gonna say right now that I think that how they do this is really important.
No, I agree with you on that. I agree with you 1,000% on that. Here's the
other thing that's really bad about this. I mean, because if they do it poorly, we're just going to say we don't ever sim it. We don't ever sim it. And here's the other thing. Depending on what guild you're in, let's say you've got one guy doesn't have a 7-star Han Solo. Well, we're not going to sim that thing so the one dude can get the 7-star Han Solo. I mean, everybody acts like it's super weird and it's super crazy, right? But people put alts in all the time, and people post zeros and let the alt get it because somebody wants their alt to make it happen. So I'm a little concerned.
So that part doesn't bother me as much, to be honest. If you have like a person that you're bringing in that doesn't have Han Solo, or if you're bringing in an alt or something, right? The sim is an option, and your guild has taken on somebody that doesn't have Han Solo, and you're willing to do that for them. So I like the fact that the sim is an option, and I'm seeing in the chat like the question of what happens if some people want to sim and some people want to battle. This is, as indicated here so far, it is a guild sim. It's like a full raid sim. It's not an individual player.
Here's what
an officer probably has to initiate that, saying everybody is simming.
Here's the other thing too is, why would I? So again, right? If you have 10 people posting, if you have 20 people that want to sim, and you have 10 people that want to play it, we have one person making the decision for those people, right?
Well, I mean, hopefully not just one, right? It should be any officer, but yes.
6, 7, 8, 9 people, right, are making the decision for those people. I'm going to tell you right now, I seriously doubt we're simming, right? I mean, if I could stick it on auto and stick it in my pocket, and the people who actually try get better rewards until you end up with more people actually posting than the bottom reward of the people who actually post, then it's not worth it to hit the send button, right? So if the send button is spot 30, if you don't have 30 people consistently doing that, then no one is actually putting in effort.
But you're assuming that it's going to be send 30.
No, I can assume it could be anything. I mean, let's go look at our last Rancor, right? In our last Rancor.
No, you're right. Where they give you the payout is going to be very important. I think if they give it around 15, like rank 10, let's say.
I'm going to say, we had 15 people in our last Rancor that soloed. 15 people, right? So right now, in order for this to make sense for the particular guild I'm in right now, it needs to be the rewards for actually trying need to be worse than the simmed rewards. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if it's not, which means everyone has to get 15th rank or better for that to make sense. If they don't get 15th,
there is another aspect that you may be forgetting though, Grande.
What's that?
And you can check in yours. How many people forgot to join?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. So let's go look.
So this can potentially eliminate that.
Right.
Because there's probably going to be no join period, and it's going to be a straight sim.
So yeah. So two people forgot to join.
So now whatever you're getting for the top 15, right? Now you're getting 2 people that are actually getting some rewards in your guild.
Again, right? I'm not worried about effectively 2 people in the guild. I'm worried about the guys that are actually trying, right? Yeah. I mean, you had a 24-hour join period. You didn't hit the join button in 24 hours. That's on you. That's on you, buddy. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's on you. Now, I got to tell you, we got 40 people playing in the Rancor and actually putting in effort, and the guy at 40th spot did the effort. And if we had semmed it, he would have gotten 15th rewards, but he didn't get 15th rewards. Then yeah. We're going to start semming.
There could be an easier way for them to do this, too. They might just add another button to where you can either join the regular and do it or join for a sim, and whichever one gets filled up all the way first, that's what happens.
You're going to talk about an either-or scenario, like I elect to sim or I elect to actually play, right? And
that's going to complicate things way too much.
That's going to complicate it way too much. Now,
if you're not going to be able to get rewards divvied out that way, if some people are streaming.
It's not going to work like that. But I'm going to tell you right now that in some of these larger guilds, you have less than 10 people actually soloing, right? Mm-hmm. And then in some guilds, you potentially have some people who maybe can't sim the whole thing, but get better rewards by actually playing. So yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, they need to be very selective on what they pick for this.
And I think they said with the way they worded it that they're still.
They're still figuring that out, which is fine. I think they have to aim for the higher end. If they make it too low, no one's going to utilize this, and it's actually just going to be a failed feature, and they can't do that. But
in-game chat is effectively a failed feature, right? You use it to find somebody and then get them on Discord.
Okay, so for us, yes. Now, with what they did with the guilds at the starter level now, in-game chat is different.
Yeah.
Because when I play on my alt, like people are talking in those starter guild chats because they're just playing for fun and all they're conversing with is the regular chat. Like a lot of them are not super into the game. They've all been put into a guild. So again, depends on the level, but what I'm seeing, at least in the very newer players, is that the in-game chat feature is working pretty well. But yeah, we don't utilize it anymore later on. And so depending on who you're talking to, which I know a lot of the people in like the chat and everything they don't really utilize the in-game chat, except for basically to spy on their guildies to see what they actually leveled and geared and all of that.
Most of the bigger guilds, like Dana's that I'm in, like out guild, they use Discord or line chat to communicate with guild members rather than in-game because it's more efficient.
Well, the game also requires a lot more coordination than can be allowed in-game chat, so it makes sense to take it out of there. The other thing though that I really like about this though, so I think we all have the concern that the rewards have to be somewhat on the higher end and worthwhile for people to actually want to sit. Even if you assume on average only 30% of the guild, because I think Grande's at 15 and I know ours is usually around 15 as well. So if we assume about 30%, of guilds are actually competing and soloing Rancor, they need to make sure that whatever the rewards are make it worthwhile for those 30% to sim rather than just solo in their pocket. But what I do like is that they're rolling it out just for Rancor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
absolutely, let's get it right.
For AAT, I wouldn't mind. I would. When they do this for Sith raid, that's what concerns me, because now you have the Gear 12 plus pieces.
Yeah.
That would concern me if they do this wrong. AAT, I think they should take it one step at a time. So I'm really happy they're just doing Rancor. I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to them doing AAT, but if they did this on the Sith raid this early, yeah, I'm glad they're taking it incrementally and doing it slow.
Well, I think this might be preparation for another raid that's eventually going to be coming out, because if you look, that they're trying to cut back on how much time people spend in the game, because they've heard our cries on.
Come on, though.
We were 8 hours in the game.
I get it, but we were autoing the Rancor in our pockets, right?
Mm-hmm. I think the suggestion here, or what they've, I don't want to say, I don't know if twisted is the right word, but I think what the result of this quality of life is a little bit different than the request, right? Because I think people have asked for the simming of the raid, but I think they've asked of it of the individual person, because let's say somebody has soloed the Rancor 20 times. They just want to be able to hit sim now and not have to go through the 15 minutes. What they've introduced now is the possibility of full raid simming with the entire guild, which is a little bit different, and
it's different than what was asked for.
Right, but it may be to what you were mentioning earlier, and I think that was Grim's suggestion. It may be too hard to have some people simming and some people not simming, and the logic behind that. So maybe full guild simming is what their solution was. Like, realistically, that was the only thing they were able to implement, and so we kind of don't know the back end of that. But it's a little bit different than what the request was, but I'm still not necessarily opposed to it. I'm not
opposed to it. All I'm saying is I don't want to end up with a Ranger rant, because people get the average. No, I'm serious. Because now what we've done is we've given everybody.
Well, so here's the thing.
25 rewards.
I'm not going to rant, because they still give the option that if it turns out that the sim rewards are sucky, we'll just go back to doing what we're normally doing, and I don't have a problem with it. So it's like, okay, I'll just go back.
There is no loss in all of this.
Yeah, so it's not like I lose anything.
The loss is on the CG side. It's not on the player.
The loss is on CG side, not on the player side. So if this is a garbage mode, they basically spent a bunch of time, energy, and effort and didn't ask for what we wanted. Got it.
Watch it be like the.
And because they give us the option not to do it, we don't do it. Just like we don't.
Sure.
I mean, just like we don't type in-game chat and have 500 people in a chat board.
Yeah, watch it be like the heist.
Well,
you have
the
a chance
biggest
at
problem
getting the crappy rewards, but you also have a chance at getting the #1 rank rewards as well.
The biggest problem with the in-game chat, and I think we tried this, right, when they introduced all the group chats and all of that. There's no way to moderate.
No, you can't
moderate. There's no way to moderate a chat. If you start a group.
Here's the other problem with group chat. Here's the other problem with group chat. The other problem with group chat, and I may be the only one that's in the RSG VIP chat anymore.
No, there's people there. It's just nobody talks because we basically squashed it because we have no control over it.
Well, not only do we don't have any control over it, but if you get pinged in one of these chats, if you don't have it open in the background and you have it set to another one of your ones, then people don't check it.
Yeah.
So, you could have a chat here. Like I have a chat here. I had like 5 or 6 chats open with individuals where I was trying to contact the individual. Well, the individual joined the chat, typed something. I didn't respond for like 24 hours because I forgot to look at the daggum chats. And then that person left the chat because I didn't respond. And I'm like, oh crap. I have to like leave it open and only do one at a time. Okay, got it.
Repeat after me, Grande. I blame Finn.
Oh, it's not Finnity's fault.
It is.
Everything is Finn's fault.
Okay, so
if you catch a cold, you blame Finn.
So
I didn't keep you
mildly optimistic on this one.
Yeah, but let's continue.
I think the feature has a lot of potential, but also a lot of questions.
Yeah, so let's see what they do with it. But yeah, I'm cool with it.
Right. Okay.
Save players time, and for convenience of squad selection and management, we will be adding the squad management button to the character inventory screen.
Yes. Thank God. Yes.
Excellent.
This will replace the buy data cards button that is currently there. Our
Yes.
data show that this was the least used button on that screen. Once on the squad select screen, more information will be surfaced at the top level, including the character name, in case you're having difficulty telling your jaws apart, gear level, and a brand new shard indicator. This can be turned on from inside the character management pages, where you can indicate whether you want to be notified of any duplicate characters being used within a single tab. This will allow you to more easily use the tabs to fill out complete rosters for territory wars, battles, arrays, etc. We've added similar functionality for mod loadup management as well. Love it. I love this.
Yes.
Absolutely love this.
Yes. Thank God, yes.
Perfect. I love it. Awesome.
This one I have no qualms with whatsoever. I love every single thing about this one.
Yeah.
Same here.
We're also excited to bring you changes to the in-combat buff debuff user interface. It's about damn time!
Yes! Yes!
A new button has been added to the screen to allow you to quickly turn on or off the full buff display and reveal more of the screen. With it off, a few key buffs such as Taunt, Foresight, and Unique buffs will be visible, but after a certain number of buffs have been applied, lowered priority buffs will be collapsed behind an overall numerical indicator of the number of active buffs, debuffs. You can use this new toggle to expand the full buff list, or you can keep them hidden. You can also tap to expand or collapse individual character buff, debuff lists. New buff, debuffs will flash briefly before docking behind the minimized window. This feature is one of the items inside of our beta test that we are asking players to provide feedback on, and we will make modifications to the number of visible icons, which buffs are priorities, and other factors based on how our beta testers respond. As always, if you're interested in becoming a beta tester, keep an eye on the official Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes forums for when we look for new candidates. I love this.
No more playing who's hiding behind the buff
Look
bar.
at this. This is perfect.
My opponent's team at all because all the
and
buffs.
you can click it. I mean, this is. You can toggle, and then you can click it, and then you can see what's on there, and then you can turn it back on real quick, and then it gives you. Oh, this is so good.
I do.
Brilliant.
I very much like this.
I love this.
I'll say there's one thing I would like to add to this, and it doesn't necessarily have to be this. It can be a different one. They need to add a way that you can tab select the targets, because sometimes it's still very difficult, especially when you have... They said they were ordering things based on height, right? But a lot of times it's not ordered by height.
No.
Like the same characters will come in a different order and things change. So I really want them to introduce a kind of a tab target, or maybe like an arrow that you can just press in order to tab like the next character in the list or something, especially in ships. Ships is a lot worse than squad for targeting sometimes. So that I hope they add something like that too. But this is fantastic. We need this too.
Yes, this is really good.
Oh, I agree, because sometimes, like on my phone, when I try to click on a character that was in the back row, and because the character in the front row that was near it had buffs over the head, I'd tap on it and it would select the character because of all the buffs that were over it. It'd select the wrong character, and that pissed me off so much.
I mean, when you're doing Rev and Mirror matches, the buffs are everywhere, and this will make a huge difference in like being able to select.
This will also let us know if certain debuffs stack that we didn't know if they stacked or not before.
All right. Next one. We are also looking to improve the matchmaking of the Grand Arena. One of the clearest improvements we could make based on the data from the first few runs is that when ships are not using Grand Arena, ship GP will not contribute to matchmaking. While we will not reveal all the components of the matchmaking formula, we will continue to adjust certain aspects, displaying them when relevant. There are a number of other quality of life, polish, and bugs fixes going into the update, which will all be revealed in the patch notes on the official forums. All right, so they're still looking at Grand Arena.
I like this.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah.
I was suggesting this all the time because it throws off the matchmaking.
It really
you
does.
You have all characters, and somebody went ship heavy, they are screwed in comparison to other people within their bracket. So I really like this one.
I do too.
I'm going to mention it again. This is the one quality of life change I really want in this game.
Yeah.
Please combine the character territories into one 6-star territory in territory battles. For God's sakes, please don't have officers have the need in order to figure out how to distribute their deployments in order to maximize stars. Just let players do their battles and deploy straight. You can make a single 6-star system and have everything work out exactly the same and not have officer burnout on territory battle.
Yeah.
We need that one, please.
All right,
I agree.
new content. February is going to be differently themed than the past 2 years, as we are very excited to bring you Separatist droids. We've given a lot of attention to various aspects of the universe in the past 2 years, particularly the original trilogy and the Old Republic. With the return of the Clone Wars animated series, hashtag Clone Wars lives. I'm so excited. When does that start? I got to find that out because I'm going to be watching the snot out of that. We are excited to explore more content from the Clone Wars animated series. This includes a marquee for the B1 battle droid, who will appear as a single unit on the battlefield, but whose abilities reflect the pervasiveness of the seemingly unending units behind it.
Ooh.
Additionally,
Does that mean like it's going to be like a Night Sister zombie?
Could be. Roger.
It does sound like it's
Check
going
it
to be
out,
like
Corporal.
a droid
We'll
Night
cover you.
Sister zombie.
Oh.
That would be
I
pretty
myself would
nasty.
love that. Additionally, we're going to be releasing the Droidica.
I heard a baby grande.
What is that? Wait!
Bye!
You! Oh my god, they look the same!
It just got
It's a younger version of Grande when he was a baby.
Bye, baby grande. You should have told him a joke. We needed a
I
dad
know,
joke.
right?
to
Oh,
Baby
yeah,
Grande
yeah.
on screen. That would have been epic.
All right.
Let me get back to the post. Additionally, we're going to be releasing the Droidica. Finally, the Shield Destroyer droids who, combined with the B1, the rework of the B2 battle droid, and rework of the Magna Guard, all serve as the behest of one particular droid commander, Cough. General Grievous is getting a rework, and we are very excited to tie that into the rest of the Clone Wars droids in a way that fulfills the fantasy of the strategic separatist battlefield commander. And that's all for now. There will be more information as always in the coming weeks if you hop on over to the official forums. You hear that, meatbags? I will be back. Carrie Guskos, senior producer. Wow. So we're getting the Droidica and the B1, and they're reworking all the other ones. Now, I've got all these droids done. I mean, I need 2 more shards for the...
I hope that last sentence didn't evade you, Ranger.
What do you mean?
HK.
You hear that, meatbags? I will be back.
Yeah.
We're getting something with HK.
Yeah. So I am very happy about this. I think it's about damn time. Grievous is one of the most worthless badass characters in the game that's not badass. He sucks. So, and they're actually the Droidicas.
Worse than Mace.
B1.
That means nothing.
This is perfect. I'm totally fine with this. You know, the thing I was talking to Finn about is that I love the fact that they're not constrained to certain repetitive things that they've been doing. Like February's been Sith month. I'll take this over not getting a Sith month.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will now dub this as Dark Side Month.
Yes.
And it'll
Well, they didn't really say it was going to be February.
No, but the last 2 had been kind
This
of
year.
that theme, right? So
No, we are going to now dub February as Dark Side Month, and it'll be consistent with the other 2 months.
So that means L337. So we know we're getting a General Grievous rework. We know we're getting these new characters.
Yeah, can I be honest? I don't think B2 Battle Droid needed a rework. I'm fine with
he's
Magna Guard,
fine.
and then
He does.
Magna Guard does. Oh my god.
Magna Guard for sure needed. But B2 was still quite viable in a lot of different teams.
Yeah.
It wasn't meta, so if they're trying to make droids meta, maybe, but B2 Battle Droid was still a very good character. I really like using him in like random teams for Grand Arena and Territory Wars and stuff.
I'd say he needed an update more than a rework, because his kit's really good as it is. It's just that, like, you know, he hits for less damage than the freaking.
Well, he's
Ewok.
not really an attacker. He was really much more of a utility for dispelling and the constant volume.
But I mean, like with his basic really didn't do very much, but he was
really
always
wasn't
getting
his
that turn meter.
purpose. No, were you saying something,
We'll see.
Grande?
Yeah, why didn't they just give us why did they just give us Super B2 Battle Droid? Right?
that would have been neat.
Rocket droid.
I mean, they could have given us that. They've still got more to go, right? But 3 or 4 or 5, 3 or 4 or 5.
Well, we're getting
droids.
2 new droids, and they're reworking all the other ones in Grievous.
Yeah,
That's
it'll be great.
That's kind of a big deal, Grande.
It is kind of. I agree. And Magna Guard. I got to tell you, Magna Guard.
Magna Guard.
Magna Guard
Yeah,
should be.
Magma Guard.
Not
is
liquid
true,
hot
Magna
magma
Guard is
like
a
my
droid.
volcano, Grande.
I'm just saying. And Grievous should basically make it where you don't want to have GK on the team.
It's going to be really interesting to see what they do with it.
I mean, this.
Although
this faction
Kenobi did beat Grievous,
but this faction needs to be very anti-Jedi.
That's what it was.
Oh, definitely.
You know, Grievous was. I mean, people don't understand. Grievous killed so many Jedi.
That's where he got them lightsabers.
He had more than 4 that he's wielding.
Yeah, he had a huge collection of lightsabers from Jedi that he killed. So
that's what she said.
Oh,
I'm also gonna. So I've been wrong before, and I'm sure I'll be wrong again. So this won't be the last time. But I don't think L337 as the monthly character was pointing to this at all.
I agree.
I think look at it from the reverse for a second, right?
Yep.
If you were going to introduce a Han Solo character and hint it to the player base, and also knew that you had these droid things and you wanted to confuse them, would L337 not be the perfect character of the month to make people drop their guard and think, okay, L337 was for droids?
Yep.
I still think there is a Han Solo character coming at the end, Han Solo movie character coming at the end of the month, and the fact that it's no longer Sith month makes me go back to the fact that I think it's going to be either Dryden or Beckett, and I'm still kind of leading towards Dryden.
No Mechanimal.
Well, here's the thing. Remember what Crumbs said. Crumb's little clue on Cub's show has nothing to do with Grievous and his droids. You know, the blue handkerchief and all that.
Mm-mm.
So,
but the beehive thing.
I agree with you, Finn. I think might end up seeing a solo.
Well, I'm almost done with Young Lando. I'm almost done with Vandor, and then L337. I'm gonna now that I mean, I was saving my crystals, but I mean, I'm just gonna start doing Cantina refreshes on L337 and stuff on these guys and finish them up. You know, now that I got Revan done, I might as well finish the Kirastal team anyway. So, and then after they're done, go back into farming. I've already got Bassa 4-star and Candace, and they're well on their way to 5-star. The other characters have not even been released yet. So, you know, so it makes sense for me to go ahead and knock these characters out for the rest of this month and get them done. In case there is a character like that. But it's still a win-win because even if there is not a character, I've got the Kirastal team ready. You know, so yay. You know, And the good thing too is droids. I've got all the droids done. Except Magna is 98 out of 100. I mean, good lord.
And not to mention, if the droids end up being a thing, if Grievous is a really badass droid leader, L3 can be slotted right in there with her amazing droids can't die Zeta, the freaking Revan style. Droid dies.
If B1 becomes a Night Sister zombie, that would be
so funny.
Insane. Oh my god, you put him with Chopper. The combination of B1 and Chopper, I'm telling you right now, would be the most ridiculous thing ever because you have a crazy evasion tank. God damn, that's going to be ridiculous.
A tank that won't die.
And then throw it with like L337, those three combined, so then you also have like the healing going on and the res by L. Oh, God, that would be so awful.
I mean, imagine what the defense on Droidica looks like.
Oh God,
that character better have awesome defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's going to
be and how much protection that character should have tons of freaking.
I think Droidica is going to be a taunting tank kind of character.
I think you might see a damage immunity ability
with
on
the shield.
With the shield, because
it could be. I mean, there's a lot of great possibilities there.
I like the
reworks. I like the names on the characters and the gear levels on the characters. I like that the squad arena thing now is coming in. You know, I like the first thing about, you know, I like the general concept of simming raids. We'll have to kind of, you know, to be determined. And I like that Grievous, one of the hardest characters to actually get in this game, is going to finally not just be a vanity piece.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
there's also another
part.
There's another part too. So I mentioned I don't think L337 is really related to all of this, right? Don't let it be lost that the addition of the Emperor Palpatine ship, the command shuttle, now will introduce the 5th Sith ship in the game. So it's pointing even more to the fact that there's likely, maybe not this month, but maybe next month there's going to be some kind of Sith ship event.
It could be, but I can't.
I think it's dropping a hint. Otherwise, the Emperor Palpatine thing is so random that they're introducing that ship.
So it is a little random, right? It is a little random about the Emperor Palpatine ship, but that would say, hey, there's a reason for a Sith Empire type ship, and it also hints toward another dark side fleet commander in Grievous getting his own capital fund, or Grievous getting a ship of some type, or us actually ending up with a separatist synergy for the ships. You know, the Geonosians are good now. Imagine the Geonosians under a separatist capital ship.
Yeah.
With more ships to add to it, yeah. And I think we're going to see more ships coming in. I just can't keep up with all this crap. I just can't. I mean, ships is going to have to take a backseat to getting some of these characters done. The good thing is that once I get these next two groups, it's really just about farming some stars and finishing the Gear 12s. You know, I'm happy that I've got all the characters in the game unlocked now. Now it's just, you know, rounding out my squads even more than they were before. So I want to finish Bounty Hunters up. I want to finish the Kiristal team up and get these new Old Republic characters done. And then I'll be in a really good place. Because the droids are done. They're farmed. And most of them are a lot of them 7, 8, 9 already. I mean, I could take Grievous to 10 right now. I've got the pieces for it. So, you know, taking those characters up to their gear and stuff won't be a problem. So it's going to be interesting to see. I want to see the rework though, and then I'll put them as priority for gear and stuff, and just farm the other guys and gals on the Kiristal team just to 11. So it's a lot of fun stuff, guys. If CG's really listening, I give this Road Ahead an A+ so far. Lot of really positive, good changes in here. Stuff that we wanted in the game, whether it's the debuffs and buffs, the squad character thing, the reworks. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff in here that they're introducing. So I mean, that's my general thought. What about you guys?
I want to know what you're making of the HK thing at the end, though.
Maybe she's just quoting it. I don't know, but I mean,
there's no way she's just quoting it. There is like zero chance that she's just.
So what do we think that means then?
So they're doing something with HK, right? And we were thinking maybe they're going to add the Old Republic tag.
Could be.
Possibly, right? Pointing towards a.
Here's the. I mean, look, it reworking droid gives you a way to rework HK. It gives you a way to retag HK. It gives you a way to it gives you a way to, in 3 or 4 or 5 months, to come out with some more KOTOR stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in some ways, fixing separatists lets you fix droids, end up with 6 months of a droid meta, and then lets you kind of swing back towards KOTOR if you want to. It also lets you swing towards clones if you want to. I mean, fixing. We've said for a long time, before we had KOTOR, before we had smugglers, before we had cargo ships, we said that, you guys added the separatist stuff, you guys added some of these tags, but they need to fix that whole genre needed to be fixed. This is probably one of the oldest things that needed to be fixed for a long, long time.
Yeah, I agree. It is. Grundy, your thoughts on the changes and stuff overall?
I think this is a great step forward, right? Again, we got another Road Ahead post. It was, this post, while some people consider it quote unquote late, was not as late as the last one we got.
And it was in depth.
And it was very in depth. Again, it was very well written. She did a great job on the post. She's, we got some quality of life. We got some new content at the same time. Now, albeit, right now the quality of life and the new content is characters. We didn't really see anything mentioned about new game modes, right? But that's not the end of the world.
Well, not directly, right?
Not directly.
But the raid simming obviously shows that they're doing something, right? Because there would be no point in doing that if not introducing they're adding something to the raids. So I think this is just the start of
correct. Right. And again, right, if we ended up with a 4th and a 5th and a 6th and a 7th and an 8th raid, you can run them all concurrently, it would potentially get to the point where it was a problem, right? So this is a logical progression. I mean, if you wanted to do it in such a way, because otherwise you would end up, and if one raid takes 2 days to get the coin, and one day takes 3 days to get the coin, and one raid takes 4 days to get the coin, and the next one takes 5, eventually you're going to end up with one day where you had all 4 or 5 raids, and you had a TB, and you had a TW, and you had a GA, all on the same day, right?
Now that we're talking about this, it just occurred to me. What if the next tier, because we were talking about what you would have to do for rewards for like a next tier of all of these raids, right? What if the next tier includes an auto sim for the guild of the previous tier, so the max tier 7 or whatever, and then you play the arcade for additional bonuses? Like, that's what they're introducing, right? So you don't miss out on your Han Solo shards or whatever else there is, but now in the arcade mode you can get Gear 12 Plus pieces, or you can get some mods, or whatever they want to introduce in there. You get that now on top of your tier 7, and in order to get to the arcade, you have to have unlocked simming in the maximum rank, because it did say you have to do it a certain number of times, so there's like an unlocking mechanism for it.
Yeah, potentially. Again, too, she's mentioned this Palpatine shuttle, right? So that means we've got Palpatine becoming a pilot. I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on here. We also mentioned that we kind of skimmed over this Palpatine part, right? As we finesse the delivery system, we also want to try a couple of different formats. To that end, we will be releasing a Emperor's Command shuttle in a new event called the Galactic Chase.
Yeah, I think you joined right after we had discussed
covered
that.
In
but yeah, you can go into it. I don't think you had a chance to.
This event will take place on one of the Cantina holotables. That's interesting. And this command shuttle will be immediately released to specific nodes there, right? That makes sense. So it's going to be one with nodes. That means it's either Cantina table, or it's ship's table, or it's something else, right? This will allow you to earn shards while accruing other resources and completing daily activities that you would already be doing anyway on these nodes. We hope you enjoy this celebration of the arrival of the new ship without requiring a separate energy grind. That's interesting. I mean, that to me means they're going to maybe put that in GW or something. I don't know. It's very strange to me, right?
Maybe this is the cynic in me. We know that they like to control resources, right? So
Absolutely.
whenever you get too much of something, they try to drain it. We know after the Revan event, a lot of people are hoarding crystals.
Absolutely.
The two places where people have the opportunity to spend crystals and don't are the fleet table and the mod table, right?
Yep.
Because those energies don't contribute to the 600.
Absolutely. You could put a character on mod battles.
That's
right?
exactly what I'm thinking. Mod battles or fleet tables, they put it in there, and if that's the only place you can get the ships, there's a chance that people will.
I'm also saying alongside more traditional events, we will be including more achievement-based characters this year. They may show up in actual achievement rewards or in currency shops, such as Wampa and Yoda.
Midra Padme.
And so again, right? So I'm going to tell you right now, if that means, and we all know how much freaking currency it took on Wampa and Hermit Yoda. I guess we're all saving stuff there. Here's the other thing too: is you can buy that stuff out of the guild shop. I mean, out of the shard shop now.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll just let that sucker bank up, right? I mean, you let that sucker go to 60 or 80,000, and you'll basically have that thing 7-starred right away. I don't know. It's interesting, right?
It'll be interesting to see where they put it, but I think it's going to be put in either mod table or fleet table, because that is where people are spending the least amount of crystals, and that can actually get people to spend their crystals a little bit more.
Mod battles makes perfect sense, right? There's nothing but gear there. There's no shards there.
The only problem with mods, with the mod table, is that we know so many people that are maxed out, that are just flat out maxed out on mods.
Right. I'm maxed out on mods, right?
This is going to be a pain. If you have to farm Emperor Palpatine.
No, but not from mod challenge table, from mod battles.
Oh, you're talking about the actual mod
slicing material.
Okay, because you can get the mods on the other levels too. You're talking about like the max level of the mod battles.
I'm talking about you do it on the slicing table on the.
No, I know, but there's only one level.
I understand.
On that.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But I'm saying you put this ship on level 9.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking of all of them, and so you get the mods on the other ones. Go ahead, Jim.
I'm thinking they're probably gonna spread it out between, each of the tables, because Galactic Chase. Why would they just put it on one table?
Because they force you to use crystals for it. You would still use whatever crystals you're doing for the 600, or if you're farming the hard node characters and all of that. But if you now have a new ship that's showing up on mod tables, would you spend additional crystals in order to get that Emperor Palpatine ship because you think there's going to be a Sith event? And I'll be honest, I probably will. I don't mind getting mods, I probably will.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm all in on ships, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they give us, if they give us a new ship to go get. I mean, think about it right now. Emperor Palpatine's ship is definitely going to be Empire. It may have other classes too, right?
I think it's going to be Sith too. I think it's going to be just like
sure. It's going to be Sith and Empire, but here's the deal: it's probably going to synergize really awesome with Vader's ship, right? It's probably and we've already got 2 Empire, fleet commanders, and I already have both of those commanders at G12 plus, and I've already, of course I'm going to go after an Empire ship, right? And it's probably going to be good at unlock, right? I mean, the thing's probably going to be good at 4-star. It's probably going to be excellent, even more than that. So absolutely, I'll go for it right away.
Now all they need to add with that one is the Royal Guard TIE interceptors. Then I'll be happy.
The red ones,
the advanced TIE interceptors.
Absolutely.
I love those.
I loved that one. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think overall this is a really good post. I'm with Ranger. This is a really good road ahead. It provides just enough, I think, to whet our appetite on what's coming up in the next few months, and just enough that we don't know exactly what's happening because we don't know the raid rewards. We don't know where Emperor Palpatine is going to be. We don't know what the reworks are going to be, and of course, we don't know what the hell's happening with HK-47.
I mean, we just don't. I mean. I hope.
But I like the way that she has this because it does give us just enough to lead us down a path that's going to screw everyone when Beckett comes into the game.
Well, I'm still all in on the. I'm going to finish them. So it's a gamble, but I'll take it. So we'll see what happens. But is there any questions?
Yeah, Psycho Drums makes a good point, and I'll get to questions. He says that he thinks the whole chase idea, Emperor Palpatine's going to move around onto different tables on different days.
I could see that too.
That can definitely be possible.
You could have different tables, different days, so you're not always on the first thing. Yeah, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, all I got to tell you, Emperor Palpatine's shuttle, if I remember right, it was slow, and it didn't really do a whole lot in any of the movies. So
it's chasing, a support ship.
So chasing was not what it was really good at, which is kind of silly. But just throw that out there.
All right.
Well, it did have a good hyperdrive in it, so.
All right, I'm going to go ahead
One thing's for sure, this year is going to be starting off really well with this road ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm very, very pleased with these changes.
Definitely
very
looking
pleased.
forward to it.
All right, so let's go ahead and look at. We're going to answer some questions
rapid fire. Let's go.
Yeah, we only have a few questions, and we'll keep it at that because we have another stream coming up at 9 for a different game. So hopefully you guys can join us for that.
Yes, join us.
But for the questions, Danilo Papaya's question: what if the rewards from simming include Han shards? Wouldn't that benefit all players? It has to include Han shards.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
It has to include Han shards. The other thing too is Han shards are not the end goal of the Rancor raid. The end goal of the Rancor raid is the gear. Just like the end goal of the AAT are not GK shards. Shards are not the end goal. The end goal is gear.
It's full droid collars.
Yes, it's
Full droid collars.
Full drops for Nuvian scanners and design tests.
I don't need those. I need droid collars. I have enough of the rest. I need droid collars up the.
You saw. I mean, I had to. I mean, I've been hoarding, but I still had to spend some of my crystals to finish off. I mean, it's 150 droid collars and stun guns.
Droid collars are the one. I have furnaces. I have scanners. I may be a little bit low on discs, but not a lot of characters need the disc. But I need so many freaking droid collars. It's ridiculous.
Droid collars and stun guns.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, next question.
Oh my god, stun guns.
Next question. Travis Anderson, with the last sentence of the road ahead, obviously HK, do you think he'll be getting a target lock mechanic lead to make T3 amazing?
Possibly. Don't know.
Don't forget Imperial Probe Droid, too.
It would make sense that at some point every droid ends up with a target lock mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
That is like
he
a
is an assassin droid too,
right? But it would make sense, right? Just like expose kind of is the resistance's thing. I mean, other characters expose, but it's kind of what the resistance is known for.
Yeah,
it would make perfect sense that every droid on some level has target lock. Yes, go ahead.
Really quick. So before we move on to the last question, I think we've asked this before, but let's get Ranger's final word. Ranger, HK-47, bounty hunter or no?
No.
No. Okay. Captain Obvious question: will Grande whale on Droideka?
Probably.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Morgan question: couldn't CG pull a fast one and still drop a legendary Sith in March? They
Absolutely.
didn't say we wouldn't need Old Republic 2.0. Yep.
I mean,
Absolutely.
They can drop one this in February as well. I mean,
yeah, they could still go. They could still do that, man. I mean, they drop. I mean, remember when they dropped Pow and Bistan like way late, and I mean, they could drop all kinds.
This is all set up.
Yep.
To be really cool and also the perfect distraction. Everything they're doing is set up to be a perfect distraction to take you off target from whatever it is that you're working on. Just throwing that out there.
All your resources on droids and surprise, Darth Revan.
Surprise,
exactly. So yeah, just be cautious about that. All of this stuff looks good so far. We don't have the kits or anything, so don't go jump for anything.
Don't jump. Don't do anything.
There's
crazy.
a lot of yeah, and yes, Captain Obvious, I did censor your question.
Get out of here, Captain Obvious.
Absolutely.
Next question, Nathaniel Morgan. Did anyone actually look at IG-100's gear? The
droids are not that bad. They're really
no.
not.
IG-100 is not all. No.
The Magma Guard, if I remember correctly,
I'm going to pull it up right now to tell you.
10, I think, was the annoying part or something like that.
Yeah, he's actually somewhat annoying. So he requires 450 Carbantes.
Oh, does he?
200 stun guns, 200 stun cuffs, 120 of the gold data pads.
Oh, wow.
100 of the thermal detonators, 100 of the black eyeballs. I mean, he is.
I take that back. That's retarded.
I got him up to gear 7, and I was like,
nope.
Yeah, he's like the
a big
Phoenix.
old bag of
Very
notes.
much like the Phoenix when you're gearing him up.
It's crazy that Grievous is easier to gear up than that turd.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
What do I have my IG-100 at? I'm trying to find him right now.
Gear 7. I stopped whenever it got
I don't
to
even have
like,
mine. I think mine's gear 5 or something. But he's
when it got to like stun
Mine's
guns,
7 as well.
collars. When it got to stun guns and Carbantes, I was like, that's a big old bag of nope.
Exactly. I'm on 7, and I need a Carbante in order to take him to 8, and I was like, nope.
Oh, you're
not happening.
You're further than me. I needed like a stun gun and like.
I don't think there's a stun gun at 7. That's what I was just checking.
I think it's
Mine's gear
8,
3.
9, and
Two
10 that you start going.
Two
Ah!
Carbantes. Yeah, there's a stun gun. Look at
is
the
there?
bottom at gear.
Not a 7.
No, I'm at gear 8 going to gear 9.
There you are. Yeah, so you're ahead of me. I'm
yeah.
on 7 waiting to go to 8, and I need a Carbante, and I was like, nope, not happening. No.
Not while you need Revan.
Even before Revan, I've been stuck on 7 on Magna Guard for a long time. Yeah, I'm not.
This is probably like since 2016. I've been stuck at this year, like 2016, maybe mid 2007.
That is a crazy.
So a year and a half.
Crazy amount of gear. That's. I mean.
He is a nasty gear grind.
Oh God.
Okay, let's go through a few more here that came in, and then we'll stop this here for an hour. Mr. Space Bear, I like the name. Welcome, Mr. Space Bear.
Hey.
Welcome, Space Bear. Make sure you hit like and subscribe and hit the bell.
Yeah, so everybody hit the like button right now. Hit that thumbs up.
Question: based on the lack of info on Old Republic, do you think Old Republic tunes will no longer be required for an event, aka Darth Revan or Malak? Actually,
I think they will.
opposite.
Just not when. It's not a matter if, it's a matter when, and I don't know.
I think that's exactly why HK was mentioned in that.
Yeah. I see him dropping an Old Republic tag on, giving him a full work, and then like here is either Malak or or Revan, dark side.
The other thing too, remember, I want to say it was it last year? Everyone was expecting a Revan during Sith month, and then it didn't happen, right? And then they kind of apologized and went through all that. This time, they came out and basically said, yeah, we're not doing Sith this month. And the question we had on Wednesday, I think, Grande, you were the one that asked this, was, isn't it suspicious that they didn't release Karth and Juhani into a free-to-play area, right? So we can start farming it.
Yesterday, I was like, why did we not get it with the client restart yesterday?
Exactly. So everything is pointing towards Old Republic for March.
Yes, I was like, because if you think about it, right, we needed to have it. We needed to have it by a certain date. They typically do the releases on a Wednesday. They didn't. We had a client restart, and we still didn't get it. I mean, I was holding energy for it, right? I was like, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, and it didn't come, which meant, oh, it's next month. They don't have. Here's the deal. They don't like it when they don't have anything gated. And right now there is nothing gated. The only two things gated are Juhani and Karth, which means potentially they're going to dole them out slowly, 1 and then 2, because they got to get another character in as, you know, the marquee character.
Yeah.
This game is not in a good place if there's not a brand new character that you have to pay the 180 that you have to chase, and when everything is totally farmable, we're in a bad place.
I think we are seeing maybe the others, I don't know how, like the other side of what happened earlier, right? Because we went through that phase where we got a crazy number of marquees, right? And like no events in order to utilize them. And now we're kind of on the other side of that, where we're getting all of these events that are utilizing all of those marquees that we were getting for months and months. And now I think we're right at that point where they're going to be starting going back on a regular cadence, maybe.
I would agree.
Where we're going to get marquees, like they mentioned, and then we're going to get some kind of event in a couple months.
We got marquees mentioned in this post, right?
Yes, we did.
We got more quote-unquote chase characters. Heck, they're going to call the event a chase.
Yes.
They know that this game needs a chase character. Without a chase character, it doesn't work. Multiple chase characters.
All right.
Now it's just about guessing which one it is and then farming the right characters. So
HK, Karth, Juhani, Candrace, Fallen Bastila. Makes the most sense for anything that they're going to introduce right now.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you could easily see that for a Malik.
I can definitely see that for a Malik.
And then now all of a sudden Sith or some kind of Old Republic team becomes the arena meta.
Little Bones question: when will some of this come out? I think they said this. Some of this is for February, so we should be starting to see it this month.
Right, but this could be for all of January. This could be for all of February, all of March, and part of April. We can easily. I mean, this is 3 months in advance. They're giving us, so some of this stuff may not come out until the very end of April.
Correct. Let's see. I think we have one more question. Yeah. Last question from Mateus Calvancanti. Question: when droids come to Arena, will Jawas become the meta?
So the last time they were, right, and it has to do with it. So it has to do with team. I mean, Arena is typically one of those areas where you have 1 or 2 characters where it's all about speed, right? It's all about speed. Right now, the characters you have that are in the droid or a droid Friends of Droid faction. The first one, which is one that we already have already, is BB-8. Right? BB-8 and his turn meter gained by the number of droids in the party. Already a turn meter type team, right? The second one that you've got is going to be Jawa, and it is going to be Jawa Engineer. But the biggest thing about Jawa Engineer, which kind of keeps him, not doing like super great, is it's plus 10 speed for each droid or Jawa ally, which means mods can outpace that speed. Yeah. I'm not saying they can easily, but I'm just saying that you got to remember, we really don't care about speed. What we really care about is who gets to the full blue bar first and who hits the hardest. So the challenge here is that if we have a character that either pulls turn meter off or gains turn meter, its turn meter is actually better than speed. Because he's
also stunnable, right? So
yeah, he is stunnable, right? Which means, again, we get our climbing buddy in there that everybody and their brother has. OG Han, and OG Han stuns him, and that's how we took out the old droid meta, right? Was because you'd stun, and then boom, we're done. Well, that's why BB-8 makes so much more sense, because it's a taunt, and it's a tank, and it does turn meter gain, percent turn meter gain over speed, and so again, you're talking about again, we have people in here. My so-and-so's Jawa engineer was 256. Dude, people's Thrawns are faster than that now.
Well, yeah, but Jawa engineer still has one of the fastest speeds in the game.
Totally agree. It's a totally fast speed.
We don't know yet. I mean, we're assuming, guys.
But I'm just saying, 5 people on the party, and 5 people on the party puts you at 309. People's Revens are faster.
I'm going to say this about Jawas. I think they're going to make this synergy with the droids. And they're going to make it the Separatists. It's going to be alongside that. It's going to be its own thing. So they're going to rework everything that you're not going to need Jawas.
Wouldn't it be awesome, though, if we saw the return of like an HK lead with Droideka, Grievous, Poe, and Jawa Engineer?
Absolutely. But I don't think Jawa Engineer is going to play a part of that.
I don't think Jawas
are going to play a part of this. They're going to they're trying to.
I don't think either, but I think it would just be cool to see that old.
Right. Like if you look at all the reworks things they've done with new characters, it's all been synergized toward that faction to make the factions work really well together.
Yeah.
So that you're not having to bring outside pieces per se. There are exceptions like Nest and Thrawn. Engineer could fall into one of those categories, but typically the bonuses and the team synergy comes from being in those factions, and I think that's where they're tending to go with all these reworks and stuff. If you look at the trend on everything, that's what it works like. Yeah. So that's why I'm still leaning toward. I don't think Jolly Engineer is going to play a part. He could. We don't know yet, guys. Until we see the rework of the kits and everything like what they're.
I think we're getting full droids, especially with T3.
I think so.
I think T3 is one of the more underutilized characters with a great kit to go along with droids. I think we're going to see a lot of T3 center droid teams that just do like crazy amounts of damage with the defense penetration. And if you add like a B1 that acts like a Night Sister zombie, that's just going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's going to be a.
Oh, you could end up with B1 that is totally like zombie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that would be. Or
as long as like Grievous is alive, B1
we could
popping back up.
Or we could end up with it similar to how the remember how Imperial Troopers buff was in TW. Where you had 5, where you had to kill them 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a blue buff, which means it was non-dispellable. And when we did it in TW, you had to kill troopers 5 times for them to come back. Well, imagine if the new Grievous leader is, if Grievous is lead, you have to kill all droids, all Separatist droids 5 times before one of them actually dies. You could totally see a buff like this, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it, a B1 battle droid and a stormtrooper are effectively the same things. There's mass hordes of them. You got to kill, and basically when one dies, you got 20 that replace it.
So, okay. The only counter argument I would make, though, is that was a buff for a TW that was completely exaggerated, and B1 is just going to be a marquee. If I can see that more with Droideka, for example, because of
I'm saying a rework. I'm saying a Grievous rework where that's Grievous's leader ability.
You're saying that with Grievous, okay?
Like a Grievous leader.
I thought you were saying that with like B1 because of the zombie aspect.
No. I'm saying you have a Grievous rework that says all Separatist droids have to die 5 times before they're actually dead.
Yeah, I can see that. That would that's almost like a OP version of Revan. On the droid side,
and have it be blue.
Yeah.
Back on the Jawa engineer thing, I could see him working with the Grievous lead, especially like alongside L3. I mean, L3 heals droids, stops them from dying. Jawa brings back droids when they do die. It could be a pretty mean, like,
but not in arena.
You're short DPS, man, and Jawa engineers had his day. Plus 10 speed, and you're looking at your speed at 260, right? And so now you're at 310. We got people whose Revens are at 320, man. We got people
Han's ability just stops Jawa.
OG Han killed Jawa engineer.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be the problem, and like the only way to stop it that I can think of off the top of my head is to put Chewie and force a guard on Jawa Engineer, and now you're wasting a slot on a non-droid. In order
Exactly.
to
Or you gotta pile tenacity onto Jawa Engineer.
Well, no, you can't. That stun can't be resisted.
Oh, you see, you're screwed.
Because they changed that, right? They changed that with the Han mechanic like a while ago.
I'm telling you, Jawa Engineers had his day, man. It's a PBE, it's a TW, it's a GA team.
Yeah,
now.
You'll definitely see it in TW and Grand Arena, I think, because you have to then use a high-level team in order to beat it. Because you can still get a lot of speed on Jawa Engineer, but if you're looking at Arena, it's not gonna. All
right, next question.
That's it. Let me see if anything new came.
We've had like 7 questions.
All right. Well, we have to. Okay, we'll go for another like couple minutes because we do have to start preparing for the other stream. Let's see.
That's Tactical Noobs, by the way. If you guys want to watch
Tactical Noobs for Tactical Noobs.
And so we got two. The Tactical Monster stream will be at 9 p.m. Eastern now. At 9:30 Eastern, I'll be on Mrs. channel. If you guys want to talk about more Star Wars Galaxy Hero stuff, you can come join there. You can watch us both at the same time. Why not? I do. I have the Tactical Monsters on.
Multitasking.
I'm multitasking for the win, man.
Nathaniel Morgan question. About to finish Aura. I stayed on target. Should next Cantina farm be B2 or Canderous?
Oh, boy.
B2 or Canderous?
Yeah, boy, that's a tough call. Okay, I'll say this. It depends on how far along you are with the rest of your schedule.
Yeah, you got to tell me. You got to tell me which one you're further along with. If you're further along with B2, like you've gone to B2 and then gone off of B2, and he's like 5.5 stars, I tell you to finish B2.
Yeah.
Also, the other droids too, right? Like, I would want to know where he is with his IG 100.
Yeah,
versus
a lot of
like Fallen Bastila.
B2 makes a bunch of teams, right? I mean, B2 can make a Rex Wampa team.
Canderous actually does work really well in Territory Wars if you start sticking him with like Vader and Wampa and stuff. Like you can
get that DOT going.
You can make use of it, but I think B2 has more utility, but it also depends on where your other characters are and what your end game is.
All right, next question.
Next question. What else? 73. Will this mean the return of Lobot?
No.
The Lobot.
Again, I wish. Lobot.
No.
Lobot's a speed leader, and Lobot's a cleanser speed leader. And unless we get a bunch more rebel droids, which we're pretty much done with rebel droids. I mean, that's C-3PO and R2-D2, man.
Yeah.
So, you're not gonna see that.
He said he doesn't have B2 unlocked.
That's all right.
It sounds like you've been working on Canderous though, since you didn't say Canderous is unlocked.
So stick with Canderous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You definitely have
farming Duke Nukem.
Yeah, right.
And last question, can't touch this. Farm IG 100. Depends on what else you have to farm.
Yeah, it depends.
You can get them from Bronziums too.
What have we said? What have we said time and time? Stay on target. Do not chase the new shiny.
It's just like Porkins, man. Stay on target. Stay on target.
Oh, I can pull out.
Very sad they're not introducing Porkins into the game.
I know. Well, they haven't done it yet. Ms. Farquhar said, question, can you all take off your hats? No, it's cold. Sorry, Ms. Farquhar, but love you, but no, I'm freezing.
My hat. I have no idea what my hair looks like.
I have no idea either. You know what? I'll do it.
Yeah, Grande's hair is the reason I am not taking my hat off.
Let me see if I can. Here's mine.
I have a bald head and it'll freeze and it's cold. Damn it.
Here's mine. Oh, mine kind of parted. Okay.
I have a full head of hair. It's not terrible.
Yeah.
There you go. I took off mine.
There you go. No.
Little Bones said,
can you reread his? As soon as I got off of work, so my hair is a mess. So
let's read one more. Little Bones asked if we could please read his question, and I'm like,
he has another one? Okay, hold on. Yeah, he has another. Okay, so we have
last one. Sorry, guys, we gotta get ready for another stream.
Yeah, we have to. We'll end it here.
Come to join Miss the stream. If you know.
What direction should so Little Bones' question? What direction should people take? I have all droids farmed. I wait to gear. Ordo is almost done, and Fallen Bastila is 5-star. Don't put gear on something that you don't know. Save up gear if you want to be predictable.
Yes, we don't know what any of this means yet. I would save your gear until you know for sure. Then you've got the gear there, then you can make choices about which way you want to go. And I think that's the sensible way of doing it.
Okay.
Ranger with the knowledge bomb.
All right, Miss Farquhar asking us to take off our hats, which we did.
I did. I'm not taking it off. Damn it, it's cold. Stop it, Miss Farquhar.
And then Operaringo question: do you think CG? Do you think Grievous? Sorry, GG will be the counter of Revan? Sorry, I was late.
Don't know. I don't think so. I think it's going to be really good, but I don't think it's going to be.
I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be a counter to Revan, honestly, but I think he's not going to last on defense at all.
No.
I think he's going to be the first pure counter to Revan that we have in the game. I know that people are using the C-3PO one. That one may end up being a pure counter as well. So I'm not doubting that one as one of them. I think Grievous will end up being one as well, especially if he's going to be anti-Jedi, like you guys are saying. But I don't think he's going to last on defense.
Anti-Jedi makes perfect sense, man. I mean, look, they just gave everybody Revan. Now they're basically gonna take it away with a Grievous rework.
But a lot of people don't even have Grievous touched, so I don't think there's.
Yeah. But again, we've said this before, right? And we've said this about ourselves.
It's whales and a vanity. It's whales and vanity players that are gonna have Grievous that have already gone all in on droids. I mean, I got one guy that's super whaley right now. Every droid has a Zeta. Every droid is gear 12 plus pieces. I have one of the whale guys that is so over the moon about this because all of his, I mean, he put Zetas on K2SO.
Oh, Lordy.
No. He put Zetas
I know, but that's one of the worst Zetas ever.
On M4. No, but he just has wanted a droid team to work for so long, you know.
God bless him.
I mean, he has everything. He has everything like that, you know. And so, of course, he's totally ready to go for some kind of a droid rework. He's so happy right now.
All right, so if you could please stop what you're doing, give us a thumbs up, hit the thumbs up right now. Stop what you're doing, hit the thumbs up. Everybody hit the thumbs up. Got 170 people watching, 36 thumbs up. Someone give us a thumb down, that's fine, I don't care. But give us a thumbs up.
That's hideous.
That's probably hideous. And subscribe if you haven't already. You know, we stream all the time, and we talk a lot about Galaxy Heroes and other games. So if you'd like to know when, best way to know is to be subscribed, and then you can get those notifications. Now, YouTube's notifications has been bonkers lately. I can't have nothing to do with that, but it's supposed to work that way. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, way to go, Finn. So, with that being said, check that out. Check out our Patreon if you haven't already. Please do. We appreciate all you guys. I'll continue this conversation with Mist and his at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on his channel, Mist Past Year. And you guys here watching, check out our Tactical Monster stream coming up at 9 p.m. Eastern with Finn, Grande, and the lovely T. McVenom. And we will continue on with that game. A lot of good stuff there. And tomorrow we'll have Battlefront. We'll talk more about all this stuff on the lunch stream. And then Saturday, I'm sure Jedi Academy is going to be loaded. So be ready for Jedi Academy on Saturday at 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. Eastern. All right. So everyone have a great rest of your night. Thank you for stopping by. That's right, Ron Navy. You're not doing your job. You don't get a thumbs down. We know. We have some people that you know. All right. You guys have a great rest of your night, and we will see you on the flip side on these other streams and whenever we see you. Be safe. Take care, and we'll holler at you later.